In the depths of the Great Depression, the city of Cleveland, Ohio, was gripped by fear as a sadistic serial killer, known as the Cleveland Torso Murderer, began his reign of terror. From 1935 to 1938, the Kingsbury Run area became a grisly dumping ground for dismembered and decapitated bodies, creating one of the most chilling and enduring unsolved mysteries in American criminal history. The nightmare began on September 23, 1935, when the lower half of a woman's torso, thighs still attached, washed up on the shores of Lake Erie. Her head was missing, making identification impossible. Soon after, a man's decapitated body was discovered in a similar condition. The police were alarmed by the meticulous nature of the dismemberments, indicating a killer with surgical precision. These discoveries were just the beginning. In January 1936, another body surfaced. A woman's decapitated corpse was found wrapped in newspaper and placed in half-bushel baskets. The investigation, led by Cleveland Safety Director Eliot Ness and Detective Peter Merylo, intensified as more bodies were discovered, each bearing the killer's gruesome signature. The victims, often drifters and those living on the fringes of society, were decapitated while alive, their bodies dismembered and, in some cases, treated with chemical preservatives. The killer's most prolific period was between 1936 and 1937, with bodies being discovered in varying states of decomposition and dismemberment. Kingsbury Run, a shanty town during the Depression, became synonymous with death. The killer, dubbed the Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run, taunted the police with his elusiveness. Despite an intense manhunt, the killer managed to evade capture, leaving the community in a state of constant fear. Eliot Ness, famous for his role in bringing down Al Capone, threw all his resources into the investigation. He ordered the burning of Kingsbury Run's shanty towns in an attempt to flush out the killer or scare him into stopping. This drastic measure only added to the public's anxiety. By the end of 1938, 12 victims had been confirmed, although some estimates suggest there may have been as many as 20. The final known victim was discovered in August 1938, just months before the killings mysteriously stopped. The investigation faced numerous challenges. The transient nature of the victims made identification difficult, and the lack of modern forensic techniques hindered the investigation. Several suspects emerged over the years. One of the most prominent was Dr. Francis E. Sweeney, a former military doctor who failed 2 polygraph tests administered by Eliot Ness. Sweeney had a history of mental illness and fits of violent rage. Despite circumstantial evidence linking him to the crimes, Sweeney was never charged due to a lack of concrete evidence and his powerful connections. He voluntarily committed himself to a mental institution, where he remained until his death. Another suspect was Frank Dolezal, a bricklayer with a history of minor offenses. Dolezal was arrested in 1939 and confessed to one of the murders under suspicious circumstances. He later recanted his confession and died under mysterious circumstances in jail, further deepening the mystery. His death was officially ruled a suicide, but many believe he was coerced into confessing and that his death was a cover-up. The case grew cold, but it never left the minds of the families and the community. Advances in forensic science have yet to shed new light on the identity of the Mad Butcher, and the case remains officially unsolved. The legacy of the Cleveland Torso murders continues to haunt the city, a dark reminder of a time when a brutal killer stalked the streets, leaving a trail of headless bodies and unanswered questions. The Cleveland Torso murders have inspired numerous books, films, and television shows, each attempting to unravel the mystery of the Mad Butcher. Yet, despite the passing of decades, the identity of this sadistic killer remains shrouded in darkness. Was he a disgruntled medical professional, a deranged drifter, or someone hiding in plain sight? The answers may never be known, but the story of the Cleveland Torso murders remains a chilling chapter in the annals of true crime. If you're captivated by this gruesome mystery and want to delve deeper into other unsolved cases, subscribe to Real Crime Home. Share your theories in the comments below and join us as we explore the darkest corners of true crime.